I'm standing on the edge of a cliff. Realize there must be more to life than this. Reaching for the stars, traveling so far, like a dragonfly. Just grab my hand from him, sin. With me tonight, I run away. We'll never forget the past, but what counts is our brand new start. Even if it hurts me or I get scared, just come take this risk now. We'll be prepared. I run away. I run away. Reaching for the stars, traveling so far, like a dragonfly. Keep your secrets there, hide them everywhere. Just you and I run away. I run away.
It's a big Nick energy show, live on the TOLE dough. Here in the 9, have mud in the blood, and we're only going up, yeah, vertical. Touching the sky every time we glide on 75, all fashionable, so fashionable, so far from broke. Just letting you know that we get it and go. It's a big Nick energy show, live on the TOLE dough. Summer's too hot and the winter's too cold. It's a real sweet spot. If you stop and know, yeah, it's a big Nick energy show. So big, I'ma write it in bold. It's a big Nick energy show. It's a big Nick energy show.
The Big Nick Energy Show, the podcast.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Big Nick with the Big Nick Energy Show. We're live. It's Monday. Brad, it's Monday.
All day. MLK Day.
I need a little bit more enthusiasm on that.
MLK Monday.
Gina, it's Monday.
Yay.
We are on what a jerk.
That was less
Episode
than me.
number 35. It's January 20th, and it's one of the coldest days I think I've ever had to deal with in my entire life of living.
I feel like that's an exaggeration.
That's how I feel today.
Oh, you feel
it is
Yeah,
cold
not if you
out
were
there.
It is
outside all
cold.
day.
It is cold.
Like I almost shut the show down because I didn't want to walk from the living room to the bedroom hashtag
Is your heat
forward
up?
slash.
Past 68 now?
No, it's still 68 in the house.
It feels
Yes.
really warm in here, though.
Yes.
Like,
A lot of hot
That's
bodies
because
in
all
the
this
room.
sexiness all in one area. I think is what it is.
This is a hot room.
Yeah.
It is a
Yeah.
hot room, yes.
Guys, we got a special guest all the way from LA who happened to be in town and gave us a little bit of his time. Guys, when I got his resume, absolutely blown away, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. But he appeared on the Amazon Prime series by Dick Wolf, On Call, now streaming on Amazon Prime, and the Netflix series, The Lincoln Lawyer, Season 3, also streaming on Netflix. Make some noise. Matias, what's up, buddy?
Yo, what's good? What's good?
How you doing?
Good,
Welcome back. He's visiting family, and he's actually my cousin.
Yeah, what's up, primo?
What's up, Vato?
¿Qué onda, bro?
That's all the Spanish I know. I don't even know why I said Vato. Like it was like we're in the hood.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, Matias, thanks for stopping by, buddy. I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
All the way from LA. It's freezing right now, but the reason you're still here, Matias, is because the whole LA fire thing's going on right now. And I know we talked a little bit about the show, and I was a little concerned if one of your, like where you live is under scrutiny with the whole fire thing, and you're safe, right?
Yeah. I live in Glendale, California, so the closest to me was the fires from Eaton and the Altadena fire.
How far is that from where you live?
From Glendale, it's on the interstate off the 134, so It's probably a good 25 minutes away.
It's like it's far enough, but it's like
But
if
it's
the
not
winds
there.
change,
Yeah.
Which
that's
they
not that
are.
far.
I mean, I don't know which direction, but with the weather coming in, they're worried about 100-mile-per-hour gusts coming over the next couple days.
The
It's very
Santa
scary.
Ana winds, the Santa Anas are no joke, man.
It's really scary.
Yeah.
But hey, we're glad you're here and
But I'm
And
here
safe.
in
Yes,
Toledo.
you're here.
Yeah, in Toledo.
Safe.
Wow,
Glass
thanks
City,
for coming by.
419.
Cold but safe. Cold but safe.
So you live in LA. You were born and raised here in Toledo area.
Born
weren't you?
and raised in the old South End.
Oh, South Ender.
That's where I live.
Nice.
They on Broadway and South.
I
What's-
live right there.
What school did you graduate from?
I went to Libby High School.
Oh, Libby graduate
South
to
side.
what year?
2007.
2007 graduate, right here from Toledo, living in LA. You can find him pretty much on Netflix and all the other avenues as well. But yeah, we appreciate you coming by, taking time for our little tiny podcast. But man, that's so cool, man.
It is very
Of
cool.
course.
That's so cool.
Thank
So before we get started, how did you get started? Like, where did it all begin for you? Like, how did you get started in the business?
I would say it started with my mother, Ana Maria Ponce, which I want to give
Who's
a shout
also
out
in
to.
studio. Thanks
Shout
for
out to
coming
my
in.
mom. Thank you, Mom.
She's shaking her head no, but hey,
Do not turn that camera towards her. You will feel the wrath.
she's even tilted away from the camera. so she
Ain't no contract involved. But no, my mother worked for Buckeye Cable System with Corey back in the day,
That's awesome. We
okay.
saw that earlier.
and this was probably in the late 90s, 97,
Yeah.
98, and they got me into commercials. They hit up my mom like, "Hey, does your son want to do commercials?" And started doing Buckeye commercials when I
Yeah.
was 10. And then from there, I just caught the bug, man, and high school and then community theater in Toledo. And then finally just had the, built up the courage to leave. And
It's
move.
like once you get a taste of it,
Yeah.
you got to have it. Like it's a rush. It's almost like a drug for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
So you basically started with just little tiny commercials, and then it just
Yeah, I
built from there.
started acting locally, at the Toledo Rep, doing Buckeye commercials, doing commercials for BCSN. But this is all when all that was starting, and this is like before the social media hit. So, I don't come from the social media culture. I'm
Yeah.
sure all of us in this room don't.
First of all, how dare you?
Gina.
Just kidding. I don't. I'm kidding.
But so at the time I started, like, it was the way of accessing content was different.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely
Right.
different.
Right.
VHS tapes.
Oh, absolutely. I still got some in my room.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's ruined nowadays. Like compared to what it was back in the day, now I feel like we've lost so much, but we've also gained so much
so
at the same time.
saturated now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it made it easier for some things, but it also made music what it is today, which is very sad.
Right.
So,
Right.
because now anybody can be a musician.
Yeah, and when's the last time you actually went to a store and bought a CD?
I don't think
You're
I don't
not
have a
allowed
CD
to
player.
anymore.
I'm saying, you didn't even do that?
No,
You got a CD player in that new Kia?
no, I don't.
Brad, you got a CD
I don't
player?
think so.
No, not my truck at home.
No
I
one
do.
has a CD player.
No.
And it wasn't that long ago. So it's like we watched the whole CD era become a thing, and we've also watched
Watched it
it
go.
leave.
So in my lifetime, there was 8-track when I was a baby,
Ooh.
and then there were, and of course there were records, vinyl,
yeah.
cassettes,
Yeah.
DVD. I mean CD, iPods. So and like
Yeah.
flash drives
Yeah,
and
yeah.
things like that, and then
MP3s.
now digital. I've had like all of it now in my lifetime.
It's crazy how it's came and gone so
in
quickly.
only 20 years in my lifetime.
Now we have nothing
kidding.
but digital to listen to basically movies and music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you have to pay for streaming too.
Yeah.
So like you can't just go and like, rent the movie. You got to pay streaming and then rent a lot
Yeah.
of the movies too.
Yeah.
It's kind
Yep,
of
I thought I was
crap.
going to watch a new movie last night. Yeah, no.
Didn't do it.
Yeah, when it was like $20 to rent it, I was like, for that price, I could probably just buy it.
Yeah, I might as well
Right,
buy it.
right.
For $20 bucks.
But then you
Come on.
But then you buy it digitally, so you don't have anything that you own.
right.
Makes
so
it easy.
I don't know.
Less
Once in a
clutter.
while I'll go on to Apple Movies or whatever and I'll buy a movie if it's that good. But it's like, what happens if I lose my account? Then all my movies are gone.
I bought the
Yeah.
movie Stand and Deliver because I show it every year to my freshmen. If you
Okay.
guys don't
That's
know what that
cool.
movie
Yeah,
is,
Stand
it's
and
one of the
Deliver.
most
Yeah.
amazing movies ever of all time.
Yeah. With Edward James Olmos.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And have you ever seen it?
no, I have not.
Oh, it's a very.
I've always heard of it, but
It's
I've
a good
never.
movie. It's a
It's
really
a
good
Is it
very
really good?
movie, yeah.
Scale of 1 to 10.
I mean, for
a
me,
10.
I think it's a 10.
10 for
What is
sure.
it?
Stand and Deliver.
Stand and Deliver?
I mean,
write that down, Brad.
It's not an
We're
action
gonna watch
movie.
it.
It's about a math teacher
it's a real
who
movie.
has, and it's a true story.
Yeah.
It's a true story.
And
by
he
LA.
has a bunch of kids from South LA, I think, right?
No, it's it's about Jaime Escalante, who was a teacher in East LA during like the 80s and 90s, and it's about a class of students that he had that were being, segregated and kind of being prejudiced towards the school system was being prejudiced towards them. So he fought for their rights and fought for them to pass the state test that
The
they were taking.
CCP classes, so
that's
that they
right.
could get. It was like when CCP class, college credit plus, like when
Yeah.
those college and AP classes, advanced placement classes
Mm-hmm.
first started, and so a lot of these kids struggled with their situations or living situations or the socioeconomic status.
Yeah.
And some learning disabilities in there, that kind of thing, and he helped them get to where they passed the AP test. And gave them.
So he
all-
took the time with the
Yeah.
basically the less fortunate who wouldn't have made it otherwise if
Yeah,
they didn't
and
have the
he-
mentor like that.
And he was this is like I said, it's a true story. So he was computer like something, I can't remember what it was, but a computer programmer or something like that. And he could have made a lot more money, but chose to teach these kids instead and
Right.
give his time and taught ESL classes to ESL classes.
ESL.
Sometimes I say ASL on accident, so I have to like English as a second language for the people that don't know what that means. But anyways, it's a great movie.
It's a
great
movie,
story.
man.
We'll have to check it out.
And I show
Me
it
and
to
Brad got it
my
written down
kids.
so we can watch it.
Because I think our
Yeah,
stat is
immediately
like
following the show, we'll make some popcorn and watch it.
Yeah, for sure.
90% of our student body is in under poverty level.
Damn.
And we have a lot of IEPs, a lot of learning disabilities, ADHD, a lot of kids on the spectrum. And so I show them that movie
That's
to
cool.
let them know, to
Yeah.
remind
Yeah,
them
yeah,
that
yeah.
they can.
Right.
They can overcome everything. So where's our
Absolutely.
heart today?
That's
is it because it's
the-
cold?
It's cold. That's
So
what it is.
that's the
Thank
only
you
movie
for showing that movie.
Yeah, that's the only
That's
movie I've
dope.
ever bought digitally.
That's dope.
I'm going to have to watch it. I'm really excited. I'll watch it probably this week. And I'll get back to you for next week's show. Big shout out to all of our sponsors here on the Big Nick Energy Show. Danielle Lonzel's Personalized Creations for all your custom needs, such as tumblers and so much more, especially with Valentine's Day right around the corner. Find her on Facebook at Danielle Lonzel's Personalized Creations. Also, ToledoDJs.com, your number one stop for all your wedding needs, such as DJs, photo booths, and so much more. Also, Nico Alonso's Photography. You getting married, seeing your pictures, and so much more. Add him on Facebook at Nico Alonso's Photography. Also, Natalie's Love at First Bite, home of the Big Nick Burger, who is #1 food truck in Michigan. Follow her on Facebook at Natalie's Love at First Bite. Also, Pandora Flooring and Burkett Restaurant Equipment. Corey would give the rundown, but he's not here. Also, Sarah at Apricity Renew You Med Spa with my weight loss. I'm still around 65 pounds, Gina.
I mean,
Nice.
oh, I thought
65 pounds.
I thought you were saying it like it was a negative.
No.
I was like you said, I'm still around.
Sometimes I don't realize it because every day I see myself shrink just a little
Yeah.
bit. But when you think 0 to 65 pounds,
How
holy
many gallons
Jesus.
of milk is that? Like
8 pounds,
311?
8 pounds each gallon. So that's like 24 gallons of milk plus a yogurt, plus a single cup of yogurt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's 8.
Man,
It's
that's
8
even better.
gallons.
I went down.
When you put it into gallon of milk
Yeah.
perspective,
Yeah.
it's so much. Like I can understand that so much more.
I ordered new work overalls. I went down 4 pant sizes.
Nice. I was
Yeah.
about to ask you, what's your
Withering
favorite
away.
non-scale victory so far? Like not numbers. Don't, because I don't even know how much
Touching
weight
your
I
toes?
lost.
It's funny. I could actually do that before the weight loss. I'm gonna say being able to get on the ground a lot easier, especially with 2 replacement knees.
Yeah.
You can't kneel, so I got to do like this fall into like a push-up position and kind of maneuver, like if I want to crack my back.
Can you show me this after the show?
I will.
Because
It's gonna cost you It's gonna cost you $3 though.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I think I got $3. I will gladly get paid.
It's like a stripper / beached whale, but it's looking better and
I
better.
mean, beach whales got to make money too, right? Go
But if you want to
pay
start
off.
your weight loss, check out Sarah at Apricity Renew You Med Spa. She's tagged in all of our Facebook pages on the show page. And the cool thing about Sarah, Gina, in case you're wondering,
I am wondering.
a lot of people they don't have time to actually go into the office to do a consultation. They don't have time to do all that. Cool thing about Sarah is you can do actually a video call. She'll do the the meeting on a video call, and then if she feels like it's a good fit for you, she'll mail the medicine to you.
Oh, that's
Boom!
really nice.
You can do it right from your bedroom.
Yeah, that's
You
very
don't
That
have-
nice.
easy.
You don't even have to put it on grown-up clothes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So she makes it so easy and so personable. Check her out, Sarah at Apricity Renew You Med Spa in Maumee. Big shout out to all of our listeners today, which we got a lot today.
Hi, guys.
And I don't think it's because of Gina today. Sorry, Gina.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
It is.
We got Matias in studio.
And me.
Yeah. And
It's
Brad.
about me. I'm sorry.
And Brad sporting
about
the
you,
Wu-Tang.
Gina.
It's always about
It's
me.
about Gina. when I looked up the show on
Yeah.
the channel, I was like, no, this is about Gina.
That's right.
It is
Why
about
he's
Gina.
here. Yeah.
We love Gina. Brad's one of our regulars. We love Brad.
Yeah, I
we love
love
having all you guys in studio.
It's because I gave him Southside vibes.
Yeah.
Because I also live over by South and Broadway. So my kids know the gunshots or fireworks game. They're very good at that.
Unless you're at Walmart on Holland, Sylvania. Did you see the local? There's shots fired
Yes.
in a Walmart in Holland.
I have
Yeah,
the scoop.
yeah.
The
I
one
have
out
the
on-
scoop.
You're going to get to that?
Yeah.
What do you got? What's the scoop?
Well,
Let's talk about it.
First of all, one of my kiddos works there.
Oh, no.
And she's not just like one of my student kids.
Yeah.
She's like she is her guardian is the principal, and so she's always at my house, and I keep her when her guardian goes on vacations and all of that. Well, she works there, and so I'm like calling, or can't get through. I'm calling my boss. I'm texting everybody like, where is she? I'm like ready to go up there. Like I
Right.
don't know what I was
Yeah,
gonna do,
yeah.
but I was going to
Anxiety's
save
through the
her.
roof.
Yeah,
shoot. You were
I'm like
gonna try to
this
shoot
kid
back.
is like my kid.
Yeah.
Like, and so I'm ready to go up there and save her, and then finally I got a text back and said, no, she's right here, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Thank God.
So I guess the rumor is that there's a kid that works there who I don't know if he's in a gang, or I don't know anything about him.
It is Holland, so it's very possible he's in a gang.
Do you understand that people from other places work there, Nick? They're not all from Holland.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know how that works. I thought
Yeah,
just
the-
Holland
well, the
people
train
work at
tracks-
It's like
Holland.
they put
The
a
train
gate
tracks are
up,
closed.
and
That's what I
only
thought.
So
Holland people.
they come in on the train.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So
From Swanton.
So it's still possible with those SWAT people. Whew,
Gina's
you
got the
gotta watch
411 on the Holland
so
gunshots.
I heard, but I don't know if that's true that he's
Okay.
in a gang. But I guess 3 guys came in and were going to assault him, and I don't know if they had guns or what happened. But the kid that worked there, or guy that worked there, is the one that fired the shot. Nobody was hurt. Though.
She was carrying a gun at work.
Good at work. You are at Walmart.
I will
That
say
is
that
you are at Walmart.
That is true.
So I will explain to because I know some people are going to judge, and that's fine. And I mean, honestly, Karen, all of this is terrible. But working with at-risk kids,
Yes.
sometimes you're caught up in a life that you cannot get out
That's
of.
true.
And they can't not carry at work. Like for him, and I don't know this kid. I don't know anything about it, but I'm just thinking about some of my kids that I
Right.
know.
Yes.
So like they wouldn't have a choice. We all know it's a choice, right? Because we're
Some people
adults.
don't have that.
But
Just-
when you're a kid and you're in that situation, you may feel like you don't have a choice.
Right.
And so to us, it's like carrying at work, but I kind of get it because they can't turn that off.
Yeah.
And if they do, they're dead.
Yeah.
Especially
absolutely.
nowadays, Gina, like you can't go anywhere without without something possibly happening.
Yeah, and
how
when-
many times at the Franklin Park Mall in the last 2 years has there been an active shooter? So called.
Yeah, the last one where they were shooting outside of
Yeah,
Dick's,
the
my
vi-
cousin's car got shot up. She was there in Dick's, and
I
her
saw
car
it.
got shot up.
I saw it on the flatbed truck thing because I was there that day.
Yeah, that was my cousin's
Ridiculous.
car.
You can't go anywhere. It's almost like I want to do the click list. I want to order from Amazon. I don't want to go anywhere, but then I don't want to turn into that person who's sheltered by 4 walls and a roof.
Well, I come over every Monday, so you're fine.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm
That's
enough.
I'll-
I am enough.
I'll
You are
deliver.
definitely enough, Gina. Thank you so much. Gina, how is your weight loss? Speaking of weight loss,
I don't know how much because I try to not get on the scale too much.
because you get focused on it and it can ruin.
yeah,
it can
and I
kind
don't
of
want
hurt
to
you.
get obsessed.
Yeah.
I know I've lost weight. I can see it. in
How
my
can you
face.
tell?
So my things are I could move the car seat up more because my stomach didn't touch the car seat, so I was able to move it up, and I don't have to like do the weird lean because I'm so uncomfortable built. Like I'm just so big. I'm built like a melting ice cream cone. I don't know how to describe that.
I love ice cream. I just can't have it because I'm lactose intolerant.
My boobs stick out further than my first fat roll now, so that's awesome.
Congratulations.
Yeah, like those are the things that are I'm looking at. I can choose. I don't have to choose between putting on socks and breathing. I think I talked about on that last week. That's a nice win. So all of those things are. I don't have any more energy yet, but it was literally only 30 days ago.
Right, it's gonna take some time
ago that I had this done. I have to keep reminding myself of that though, because I get frustrated. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. But Dubs reminds me often, like, it was 1 month ago that you had organs ripped from your body.
Right.
Calm down.
They're still healing inside.
Like you're not. What do you want to go do laps?
Yeah.
And I mean, I kind of do, but I don't. I mean, I wish I could, but I don't want to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway.
Well, congratulations, Gina. We're very happy for you, and we're
love
proud
it.
of you.
I can see it in my face. That's about the only thing I can see so far.
You are looking like a snack over there.
I am a snack. I was a snack before.
Not that you weren't.
I was just a big snack.
Did you just say you were lactose intolerant?
I'll still eat a snack.
She already said she looks like a melting ice cream
snack.
cone.
That's right. I am a snack. I am a melting ice cream.
Sometimes the
Yes.
snack is worth it, though. Like, you ever you can't eat something because you know it'll ruin you, but you have it anyways?
Oh yeah.
All the time.
No.
That's why I was
Yeah.
fat.
Yeah.
I am fat because of that. So yeah.
That doesn't apply.
Speaking of good snacks, I went to the Fat Fish Funny Bone over. I don't even know if it's called. Is it called Fat Fish or just Funny Bone?
Did you just say
Well, it was.
Fat Fish? It was just Funny Bone.
I think you
Yeah.
did just say that.
So I went over there
The
Friday night, got
restaurant
some
was the
tickets.
Fat
Thanks to
Fish.
Gina, your friend.
Yes. My
And
best friend
went
from
to
childhood.
see what's his name?
Gary Owen.
Gary
Owen.
Owens.
Absolutely hilarious. It was a good time. The show was absolutely sold out. Not a seat available.
He's hilarious. He
It was a
cracks
great
me
show.
up.
The cool thing about it is he only had one opener. I hate when you go to a comedy show and there's like 3 or 4 openers because it drags on for 2.5 more hours. Like,
And it's even worse when they're not funny.
Yeah.
Like,
And-
especially when they're like the local, like some of the
Yeah, he
our
brought his
local
own.
comedians are just, I mean, we have some fantastic local comedians, but sometimes
Like
the
Q.
openers are really
Can be
are
rough.
bad ones.
Yeah, it
Really
can be.
rough.
And I'm like, this guy really? Okay, I guess that's what we're doing.
But yeah, he brought one guy with him from LA. Absolutely hilarious. It was a great combo, great experience. I took Nico, my son. He's never been to the comedy club, so he actually had a
did
great
he have
time.
fun?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got the house burger. Highly recommend the house
They do
burger
have
there.
good
They got a
burgers
good
there.
burger. Good mozzarella sticks as well. So that's what we got to do over the weekend.
The fun.
It was a good time. It was a good time.
Nice.
Yeah.
How long was he on stage for?
I would
Like,
say
how long was the
good
show?
How long was the set?
45 minutes, hour maybe.
Okay.
I thought it was a good time.
Yeah, he could probably go. He probably has hours and hours and hours of material.
And it's kind of the kind of laughing where you can't breathe. Like you
Yes.
hurt.
Yeah.
Like your stomach hurts because you're laughing so hard.
Yeah, Dubs and I enjoy him. We were going to go,
Yeah.
but we were like, we're still recovering from Christmas, so we just couldn't. It's just rough.
It was a good time. So that's what we got to do over the weekend. I couldn't wait to tell you guys because Brad actually reminded me that I went to that over the weekend. So,
Yeah, I've been meaning to ask you about it too.
so Matias, you live in LA. What are some? Let's start with the little stuff.
Yes, of course.
You get a chance to go out and pick your favorite food and like your favorite go-to food.
In
What are you
LA?
going to? Yeah, what are you going to? Start off with your first your drive-through. What's your go-to drive-through joint in LA?
Oh, all the taco stands, all the taco trucks, all the vendors in LA.
They're probably legit there.
Oh yeah,
like compared to
absolutely,
here.
bro, absolutely.
Oh, do you have a
There's
favorite?
some good ones
Some
here
of the
too,
best,
though.
man.
You got a favorite?
Tacos 1983.
Oh.
No, sorry.
Oh, that was a good
tacos,
year.
Tacos 1986. It's
Oh,
a
bad year.
That was also a
it's a
good
taco
year.
spot in downtown LA.
Yeah.
Pretty bangs, man. It's like very like Tijuana style, so like northern Mexico style.
What's your go-to? Like, what are you getting? People want to know what are you getting.
5 tacos de asada. Solo cilantro, no cebolla.
You don't like cilantro?
No, just only cilantro, no onion.
Oh, so you get only cilantro. See, I can't do the cilantro thing.
I used to
No?
not be able to
No.
do cilantro, but all of a sudden now
Smacks,
it's
man.
good.
It's really
Really?
good.
Yeah, like I can't like pick it up and eat it, but when it's on a taco, it doesn't have the same weird because it tastes like soap to me when I eat it.
It's a
like-
weird flavor for me.
But now
can't.
I can have it and it's not bad when I put it on tacos. But I have to have the onions.
There's a lot.
Yeah,
There's-
onions
there's-
and a.
Do you
and
do?
a
Are there
lime
birria
wedge.
tacos there? Is that a thing? Quesabirria? Is
Oh,
that a thing?
birria?
Yeah.
Birria? Yeah.
Well, I'm white.
Gina, it's birria.
Sir, you
Birria.
stop talking. You don't even say that. Yeah.
Birria?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's,
Birria.
but it's like a quesadilla.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's my favorite. And I make some of that. It's
That's
actually
dope.
pretty good.
That's dope. No, there's quite a handful of taco spots. There's Tacos Mexico, Tacos 1986, all the vendors that are off Sunset Boulevard over by Dodger Stadium.
Is there a lot? Is there a lot of like food vendors out there?
Yeah.
Probably ridiculous, isn't it?
That's its own business.
Oh,
Without a
That's
doubt.
awesome, though.
It's
I
dope,
would.
though.
I
Well,
wish.
'cause
I
I mean-
wish we had that. Because,
You know, I'm starting to notice it even in the South End, like some of the vendors that are
yes,
there on
yes.
Broadway.
Tacos El Junior is my favorite.
they got that one
Which one?
corner
Which
that's got
one?
like 3 food trucks over
Which
there
one did
now.
we go to,
Yeah.
Mom? The one on across on Broadway.
Was it El Junior's? Oh,
Yeah.
that's my
Yeah,
favorite.
yeah,
and
yeah.
Padrino's is another one of my favorites.
How about
It's
San
really
Marcos?
good.
You like San Marcos?
Oh yeah.
No, I don't.
No. What
No.
about-
What?
Look,
I don't.
There's so many Mexican restaurants I've seen now in Ohio, in the Midwest, like in Toledo, especially like Cinco de Mayo.
Yes, but I don't do those either. Like the
Those are
chain
commercial
one.
here.
Although I will
Magdalena's.
say, El Vaquero is pretty good.
El Vaquero.
Yes,
Yeah,
that is pretty good. That one, and I really did like El Camino, but they
El
closed
Camino.
all
Yeah,
those down.
that's back in the day.
Yeah. So
One of my favorites is the Los Agaves food truck. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
For the
You know, I've
tacos, I've
never-
only had the tacos.
I've never had them before.
Pretty good.
Oh, Poppy's was really good too, but
Pretty
they
good.
closed for whatever reason.
Pepe's.
Poppy's. It is Poppy's. It's Papis. Yeah, it's not
Where was that
actually
at?
Hispanic owned.
Where was that at?
It was everywhere. It's a food truck.
So, Matias, that's your go-to if you had to drive through real quick. What's your go-to sit-down? Like, do you have a go-to sit-down? Like, you want something a little nicer. It's a date night.
You want the tacos?
Where you going?
You want your tacos on a plate, not just wrapped
Not in a
Not just in a
wrapper.
wrap.
Yeah.
You want them,
Cardboard, you know?
you want them not in a
Paper,
foam.
not in foil.
Yeah.
Plate.
What's your nicer place to go to?
Ooh, what's my nicer place? One spot I really like is I forget the name, but it's on top of the Westin Bonaventure Hotel in downtown LA. It's a steakhouse, but it's a really nice spot to go because the restaurant is at the very top of this huge hotel. And it
Nice.
rotates 360.
What?
That's nice.
Yeah.
So you get the whole entire 360 panoramic view of all of LA from Hollywood.
That's sweet.
to-
Does it go?
to
But
West
does it go
LA.
nice and slow though?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it goes really fast.
Yeah, like a-
I would be on the
like a-
floor.
it's like
Yeah,
Cedar
like a
Point.
tilt-a-whirl.
Yeah.
Trying to eat your food.
What they do, Brad, is you all line up on the outside,
And then
and
just
then
hold
they
your
just
mouth
throw
open.
your food at you as it spins.
You stand
It's
up and
so
you stick to the wall.
Yes.
You're going so fast.
So fun, so fun. Good lord.
So being in LA, you say it's a steakhouse.
Yeah,
That's on top of there.
I'm trying to find the name of it because it's a spot that I do like to take people
it
when
sounds
they come visit.
expensive.
Yeah, what is something like that run? Because
Is
like
it-
here,
is
like
it
our
cheaper?
steakhouse, like
Does
we
it
got
rotate?
Longhorn, we got Texas Roadhouse, which is going to
We
run
have the
you
Chop
Fancies.
House.
75 bucks for a couple.
Fancies.
I've never been to those.
Oh, well, those are the fancier ones.
Yeah, Chop
They
House
good?
Is, Chop House is
And
expensive.
what's
Macy's
Final
is
Cut?
good.
at
Good
this
one? Is that a
casino.
good one?
I mean, I haven't been to a lot of the fancy steakhouses,
Yeah.
so I don't have a lot to compare it to. But the tomahawk steak there is to die for.
That good?
So good. Yes, stupidly good.
So what's it going to cost, Matias?
It's called LA Prime. It's on top of the Westin Bonaventure Hotel in DTLA. It's gonna run you about $60 a plate.
Oh, that's not
60 to
bad.
80 a plate.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's doable.
Yeah, I would say that's comparable to Final
but
Cut.
it's definitely not like an everyday. It's like an
Right.
an occasion.
When it's
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
something
somebody special.
Yeah.
like you just got a guest spot on another
Or you celebrate.
series.
Yeah. You want to celebrate a victory. You know?
Yeah, I didn't mean like $60 not bad. I could do that on the daily. That's not what I meant.
Yeah, but you're not on Netflix, Gina.
I'm not on Netflix. You're right. I'm on my way there though.
So you're going there when you get home to celebrate being on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Nice.
It's in my eye count.
Matias, what other things have you been on besides the ones we've talked about? Like, what else have you done? What are some of your accomplishments?
Well, let's see. I've been in LA now for 15 years. I moved out in September of 2009. And it's been, it's been a roller coaster. It's been a lot of ups and downs,
Yeah.
a lot of learning the business of acting, which, I had no clue of being over here, being from Ohio. All I knew was that I just wanted to, I knew I needed to get out of Ohio, out of Toledo, to pursue this professionally. I
Right.
mean, yeah, there's New York, there's Chicago, which has a big theater scene and TV. But I had family that's also your family that already lived in Los Angeles.
Oh, we got family there.
Well, back then, not anymore. Now
Okay.
they all moved back to Ohio. So that helped. So I made the move, and had to take headshots, had to find an acting class.
Your
You're
headshot
very
is
well-
really nice.
Thank
It's
you.
a very good picture.
Thank you. Those are my most recent.
I was like, oh, he's really good looking.
You are very well spoken.
Thank you.
What does
bro.
that mean?
Like,
Yeah,
listen
he
to just the way
graduated from
he's
Libby.
just the way he
Graduated
talks.
from
For
Libby.
a living, is that what you mean?
Listen to the way he talks. He's very smooth.
Yeah, that's Libby High School.
So here's the
I feel
thing.
like,
Libby
I feel
High
like you
School
would
right
say
there.
like you have a nice voice. When you tell somebody they're well
Articulate.
spoken, it's like, well, given who you are, you sound really nice.
No, not like he
That's what
sounds
it
like.
feels like.
You have a. I'm not basing that off like on the sound of his voice. Like he's got a good voice, but he's just
He knows
It's-
more words than you.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Some people talk and they're like, but he's
Very
very
sh-
smooth.
I feel it's part of my job of being an actor is because besides our the body being a tool,
Yeah.
our use of language is also a tool
Right.
with acting. So there's it's been a variety of like I gotta use my voice like this or speak like that
Right.
or I think over time just doing it over and over has got me better like with public speaking and just cutting all the uhs and uhs out.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, you do
Exactly.
have quick responses, but do you do improv?
No.
Oh, would you do improv?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
But that's not my
I don't
my
think
choice
quick,
of my
I don't
choice
think
of
quick
style.
enough for it. I'm
It's fun. I think it really depends on like who you do it with, like if you have a troupe. But in LA there's like, there's UCB, there's what's the famous one that a lot of people have gone through that's in LA?
whose line is it anyway? Is as far as I can. I don't know after that.
That's Gina's limit right there.
there's Groundlings.
Yeah,
there's
Groundlings.
Groundlings, which is a very famous comedy school on Sunset Boulevard that a lot of SNL people, a lot of famous comedians have gone through and taken classes there.
I just, not to brag or anything or not to take your spotlight, but I just recently dabbed into a comedy show. Did my first ever comedy
Stand
show.
up?
Yeah.
How long was your set?
We only got 5 minutes.
Hey, that's tight.
Yeah,
That's
5
a
minutes is a
challenge.
lot in comedy.
That's a
It was
challenge.
terrifying.
5 minutes.
It was terrifying. I've never done it before, and I wanted to step outside my box and do something that I've never done before, and it was terrifying.
He did a good job.
Yeah, it was it was a great 5 minutes.
You guys are just saying that because you're my friend.
We just had to wait.
I would have.
the whole show.
I genuinely laughed.
So would you tell me if it wasn't good? Like, would you be like,
Yes.
Nick, that was crap? Like,
Have you
really
have
shouldn't.
you met me?
Yeah.
Are
That's
you?
true.
Is this
That's
the
true.
first day
That's
you've
true.
met me?
You are very
Because-
straightforward.
Yes.
You take it like it is.
Like I'm not gonna BS you. I'm gonna tell you. Like here, clean it up.
Yeah,
You have to do this. You have
just,
to do that.
Just stay home next time.
And then I'm like,
Just
okay,
stay
it's my
home.
first time. It's my first time. Not that many people are going to go. That way, I'm not so nervous. There's like 24 people there
Oops.
that I knew.
It's a nice crowd.
that went to support me.
It's a nice
People
crowd to work
travel.
off
Oh, it
of.
felt
see
so
you.
great. Like, regardless of the whole comedy thing, just the fact that all these people came for just me,
Yeah.
absolutely mind blowing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he had
Means- it
people
means a lot.
coming from out of
Absolutely.
state. and
Yeah,
just,
I had some cousins from Indiana drive for literally 20 minutes, turn around and go back home.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing
They
feeling.
drove for 2 hours.
That's true.
Indiana is
That's true.
farther than
That's
20
true.
minutes away.
I think he
No,
meant
they
to
stayed.
be
They
here
stayed for 20
Oh,
minutes,
yeah.
and then they turned around and went right back home. During a week, it was a weekday. It was a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
love.
and
That's real
they're
love.
very smart, and because it was like an open mic comedy night, and
Yeah.
he brought all the people, they had him go last, so all the people stayed there buying drinks. So we were like, oh,
Yeah.
he's so going last now.
It
I
was too. So
so
I watched
tired.
everybody going up there, and
There's
I'm
going
just
to be
losing
a
it.
2-drink minimum.
Yeah,
Man.
Yeah, two drink minimum, please.
If you're coming, that's probably what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good local comedians though.
Yeah, we had Q. Q, one of the comedy. He was on our
Oh,
show
yeah,
last
he was
week.
here last
Absolutely.
week. He's very funny.
I would like to have him on again for a longer period because I think he could bring a lot to the show. I like
Yeah.
the way he was good. He was good on the show.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Matias, what is one of your biggest? How do I say this?
With words.
What's the coolest thing you've done as far as like in Hollywood or LA?
In LA?
Yeah, like what was the coolest thing? Like you're like, I can't believe I did that.
When I got to do this play. I also I come from theater, so I do a lot of stage work and work with a lot of theater companies and develop new works, develop new plays, et cetera, et cetera. But I dabble TV and film because LA is mostly TV and film.
Yeah.
That's how you get health insurance. That's how you can get health insurance through SAG-AFTRA, through the union. But my most proud one of my most probably like proud moments I had was when I did this play called Zoot Suit by Luis Valdez.
It's funny we're getting people actually. The Rosie, she actually brought that up. So that be sure to talk about Zoot Suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did this play called Zoot Suit, and it's about the Zoot Suit riots that happened in the 40s during World War II in Los Angeles, when a bunch of Navy men were attacking young Mexican youth, young Pachucos, Chicanos, who were wearing all the Zoot suits, the baggy clothing, the baggy dress jacket, and everything. And it's a play from LA about LA, based on this trial called the Sleepy Lagoon trial, which all this happened in the 40s, like 42, 43. And 12 individuals, 12 Mexican youth, like 12 kids from LA, all got tried for one murder that happened while they were at a party, at a gathering, from another rival neighborhood. And this kid got killed during the scuffle. Nobody ever really knew who did it, but they indicted 12 youths. Like, these kids were no older than 18, 17.
Young kids
got indicted on one charge of murder, and it set LA on a frenzy. And then it was kind of like this like attack on like Zoot Suiters, about young Mexican youth who partook in that culture, who used it as a way of expressing themselves, and were attacked from U.S. Navy men who would dock at the Chavez Ravine in Los Angeles. So the whole play is based around this incident that happened during the 40s, the Zoot Suit riots, which is one of many riots that have happened in L.A. It's a city that has a history for sure. And I did the 40th anniversary of the play, because the play came out in 78.
Yeah.
And Edward James Olmos is famous for originating the role of the Pachuco that he did back in 78. And then I got to do the play in 2017, and I played the lead role of this young Mexican kid named Henry Reyna, and I got to work with a Mexican actor by the name of Damian Bichir, who is an Academy Award nominated actor. He's from Mexico. He's a Mexican actor. He's been in a variety of stuff, like The Hateful Eight. I'm sure we've all seen The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
I got to work with him, which was dope, and I got to work with a great ensemble, a great cast, and the show ran for 3 months. It got extended 3 times, and the show was under a equity contract, which is the union for theater. So I was working Tuesday through Sunday, 8 shows a week. Boom, just pumping them out. And then Monday is a day off for any type of theater, any regional theater under a contract like that. We always get Mondays off. Monday's black, like the black day. But 72 shows. I did 72 shows at the end of that run.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a lot.
And I got to do it at the Mark Taper Forum, which is the biggest theater in Los Angeles.
Oh, that's so cool.
In downtown. So it was really dope, because as a person of color, as being Latino and Mexican American, it was really dope that I got to be a part of LA culture to some degree.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
And be on the main stage and represent that community and be a part of that community, and have the responsibility of that, because it definitely felt like a responsibility for that duration of those 3 months of my life.
You're carrying a message of history.
So
that sounds very cool.
Like the only break I ever got, bro, working on stage, because the play is like that lead. Whoever plays that lead role, the role of Hank Reyna, that character never leaves the stage. The only break
show.
He's on the whole show. So the only time you get a break is intermission, which is only 15 minutes.
Oh, jeez.
So it was like, I like to think of theater as, I call it the extreme sport of acting.
Okay.
That's how I like to look at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was something that I'm very proud of to this day still. And it's been some time. It's been 8 years since all that happened. I was 27 at the time, so I was younger. And, it was like my first break. I had been in LA for only 7 years up to that point.
So you're still fairly new at that time.
Yeah. I was still paying my dues, doing this, doing that, doing a student film here, working with friends, joining a company, doing indie films, whatever I could audition for, I would do, and I caught a break, man. I caught a break. I believe in luck. A lot of people tend not to believe in luck, but in the business of acting, I really believe that there is a lot of luck involved. And who it is relationship based. You know, who do you know? It can help. And
or
just
hurt,
or
hurt.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
you know the wrong people.
You know who? Yeah.
Good point.
No, we're gonna pass. Whoa,
But,
that's a hard pass.
It's a variety of things that need to line up, a lot of factors that come into play. The crazy thing about being an actor is that a lot of there's a lot out of my control,
Right.
but then I do have some stuff that is in control myself.
Right.
Right. My habits, my routines, my diet, like these are things that I can control that can help, audition for that or be considered for this, audition for this.
Right.
It's a lot of, you kind of at the mercy of other people sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
And with Zoot Suit, I remember there's a movie version that came out in 1980 with Edward James Olmos that's in it. They recorded the play as a film. If you guys can, check that one out, Zoot Suit by Luis Valdez. And when I first auditioned for it, I didn't really see myself as the lead character. And I just knew that I wanted to. I knew about the play growing up. I had known about it, the history of it, etc. Read an article in the LA Times in 2016 of July. Saw that the play was coming back. They were going to revamp it for the 40th anniversary, etc. I was like, dope. I got to audition for this. I don't care how.
For sure.
I don't care how.
Did
what
you
capacity.
was lead
Just be a
on
part
your
of it.
radar
No, not at
at
all.
all?
Not at
You
all.
just
So you just wanted to be a part of it.
I just wanted to be in the ensemble. However, I could be a part of it.
Right.
So I put the intention out, whatever, and time passed, and then the audition started to come around. I self-submitted. I had an agent and manager at the time, but I got a casting notice on an email on like a newsletter that's catered to like Latino talent in LA called Nosotros. Sent the link out for open call for ensemble members to be a part of the cast. So I self-submitted. Knew the casting directors, which also helps tremendously because you want those people as your fans because they're going to bring you back.
Right.
Oh, we know this actor, bring him back.
And when they see a part that you're going to be
fits,
in their head, yeah.
So I was fortunate to know them and went in, auditioned for a role that I already had in mind, but that wasn't the lead role. And we read the scenes, and then we did a dance audition because there's dancing involved in the show. Because at the time, the 40s, a lot of swing dancing was popular for the youth at that time. And then got a call back, and then went back. No, actually, I first auditioned, didn't hear anything. A month passed, didn't hear nothing, didn't hear anything. A month passed. I go to Mexico to go see my father. And I'm in Mexico with my dad, and my mother gets a hold of me. Like, my manager had reached out to my mother through Facebook, like, hey, where's Matias? I need him back in LA. He's got a call back for Zoot Suit. So my mother gets a hold of my dad in Mexico. I'm like, yeah? Hey, you got to go back to LA. They want you back for Zoot Suit. You got a call back. When? This week. I'm like, well, I'm in Mexico. Okay, we'll figure it out. All right. So we figured it out, and thankfully I got back in time. Did the callback, got to meet Luis Valdez, who's the godfather of Chicano theater. I don't know if you know, but Luis Valdez is a director and writer of film and plays. He also wrote and directed La Bamba, which I'm
yeah.
What?
one of his other classic films that he's made.
That was a great movie.
Great film. So I got to meet this very like affluent person in theater, who wrote this really great play. Got to meet Luis Valdez, got to meet his family. Did the callback, and then I remember after I did my part, the role that I had wanted, he came up to me and said, "Hey man, Matias, he's giant. He's a giant. He's a gentle giant. That man." He comes up to me and says, "Hey Matias, can you read the scenes of Hank Reina with the Pachuco?" I'm like, yeah, I can read them for you. Okay,
You would have
cool.
said yes to anything
I
at
was
that
like,
point.
yeah,
Right.
So he gave me he gave me 2 scenes, and I'm thinking like, okay, well, I don't have a lot of time to like invest, like sink my teeth into this. So just do the best with the time I was given. So I went out. He's like,
kind of winging it.
Go out. He's like, go out, read for a minute, read the scenes, and then come in when you're ready. All right, cool, bet. So I go out, and I'm there with my sides, I just true actor shit, right? Just playing my action, thinking about actions, thinking about how to play that line, whatever. I'm like, all right, man, this is like a one-shot type of deal. So just however it goes, go for it.
Right, right.
So I went in, did my thing. The read was great. He gave me a direction. He gave me a note. And the direction he gave me, which I'll never forget, was he said that this role is like a jaguar that's trapped, that wants to get out. And that's a very specific type of animal to use, a jaguar. And that ties into to like in the indigenous history too of the Aztecs and the Mayans. So it's like he tied it in so that play was very rooted in a lot of that culture of the generational of the being Chicano, being Mexican, being from Mexico, Aztec, Mayan. There is a lot of that tied into that play. So that's the note he gave me, and I ran with that note, did it again, and it was great. And then I kept it moving, and then it was week of Thanksgiving, and I was just at one of my favorite parks in LA, which is Echo Park, one of my favorite parks to go to. Just on and about, just kind of pondering about my audition and like what I did.
Like, did I do good?
Could I have done this? I should have done that. That's one of a very torturous headspace to go in for.
It is.
for
it
sure.
is.
For sure.
Dangerous.
What should I
I
have
should have
done?
shook his hand, or maybe I should have said hi. I should have stood
blinked
up.
funny.
Yeah, So
Right.
I'm going. That's all playing in my head like a record, just going and going, playing. And then I get a call from my manager, and my manager's got my mother on a three-way, and she's like, "Hey, you got Zoot Suit. They want to offer you the role, the ensemble that you wanted, but they want you to understudy the lead." And I was like, "Absolutely, I'll sign that contract. What's the rate? Oh, absolutely, sign me up. Let's go." So yeah, man, got booked the role that I had wanted, and then I was to understudy the lead. And
When you say understudy, for people who don't know what what exactly does that mean?
so an
It
understudy
means his
is
job's twice as hard.
yeah,
That's really what it
it's
means.
twice as hard. But
You got to
Sounds
do
like
years and watch.
an understudy
and prepare.
is basically the actor who gets hired to watch the other actor that's playing the lead role or whatever role they're playing, so that if in case of anything were to happen to this person, they have another actor that knows the role that can come in temporarily to keep the show going.
Right.
It's a huge undertaking for any actor. I don't care who you are. That's without a doubt probably one of the biggest challenges for an actor.
So not only do you have to learn your part, but you have to learn that.
And master both.
Wow.
And you got to be ready.
You got to be ready to go on.
Did you ever
Hey,
have
you're going
to?
on Thursday. You start reading lines.
Did you ever have to go on?
Well, hold on. The story.
Hold on, Gina.
there's
Hold on,
more?
Gina.
I'm
Yeah,
excited.
we're not even.
I love-
we're not even.
I'm
to
so
opening
invested
night
in
yet.
this story.
We're not
right
even to
now.
opening night.
This is where the story gets crazy. So hope I'm not taking them too much time.
No.
Sorry, guys. But I get offered the contract. I get offered to do the play. I'm like ecstatic. I'm happy. My mom's happy. It's like this is like a big accomplishment for me. I'm like, fuck, man. Like 7 years here, I've finally hit a stone.
Yeah.
I finally got a nice stepping stone. So rehearsal started in January of 2017. We had a whole big meet and greet. It was all in the papers, all in the LA Times, like a whole press release about it. Like it was like a true like LA at the highest level in theater like experience.
Oh, for sure.
to
LA
do,
Times.
you know?
Like, come on.
So they had a whole press release for it, and then we start rehearsals, and I meet everybody. I meet the cast, and some people I know, some people I don't. There's some people that were part of that I already knew from the community of of all the Latino community within LA. And we're about 2-3 weeks into rehearsals, and we're learning dance numbers, we're learning the blocking, we're learning lines. Like it was a huge undertaking, like almost like this is kind of like what like Broadway like musical theater actors go through in their rehearsal process.
Now, how long? Because you said this started in January. Like, how long is your rehearsal time until like curtains up?
So
timeline of having to.
So it was
cram everything.
It was probably at least like I want to say 3 weeks of straight rehearsals, and these are like 10
That's
hour.
it?
These are like 10-hour days though.
Okay.
So like these are pretty like 10, 12-hour days. 3 weeks straight, and then that last week, the fourth week, is the week of like tech, and then dress rehearsals, and then previews.
Okay.
Before opening. So I got you got a couple previews, you got to do some shows before you even open. So that's like the time you use to like, all right,
Iron everything
let's
out.
get it out. Let's
Right.
let's get it out of us and get the show going. Let's run it a few times, see where we're at, see what the energy's like. But before all that happened, 3 weeks into maybe 2.5 weeks into rehearsals. This was January of 2017, so a lot was going on in the climate of the nation at the time. Like this was during the Women's March. Trump was president at the time too, so there was a lot of like
A lot going on.
in LA, man, at the time.
When is there not a lot going on
That's
in
true.
LA, though? Honestly.
That's true.
Yeah, bro, tell me about it. So, it was January 21st, the day of the Women's March in Los Angeles at City Hall. I remember getting to rehearsal, and my stage manager, my SM, was outside chilling, doing his thing. His name is David. Great, just an overall great human being. He's like, hey, Matias, so-and-so didn't show up today. And this so-and-so was the actor they had initially hired to play the lead of the role of Henry Reyna. He's like, so-and-so didn't show up today, man. I know you're his understudy. They need to do a run for the designers. Are you okay with doing the run? I'm like, yeah. I mean, I'm not completely off book. Like, I don't know the whole role yet off the lines.
Right.
But he's like, don't worry about it. You can hold your book if you need. Like, people will help you. I'm like, all right, it's fine. Yeah, I can do it. Like, yeah, I'll do it. So that day, the 21st, January 21st, I'll never forget the day. We get ready to do a full run of the play. The play's 2 acts, so it's pretty thick play. We get ready to do the run, and prior to that, I'm learning my part, my position in the ensemble and blocking, while also watching so-and-so who got hired initially to do it, and watching, just being an understudy, but then also playing my part of the ensemble. So it's a lot, man. But then this day of the designer's run, he doesn't show up. I wasn't told why, but he's like, hey, we got to do a run. Can you do it? Yeah, I do it. So we do the run. We start the first act. I'm like, I already had the first act in me. I knew my lines. I knew the blocking of where this actor was, so I could, to still do that, to still respect that. Did my thing, man, and then we got to the end of the first act, which we take a break, and at the end of the first act, everybody was just kind of like very supportive of me, of what I was doing, of being in that position for one, in those circumstances, but like really supporting me. To make the best of it for the run, because we're gonna open in less than a week, or start doing previews in tech in less than a week.
And you stepped in to keep the whole thing going.
To keep it going, and then we get into the second act, we get through that, and then at the end of it, man, a lot of people, like a lot of the cast and even the crew, the people that work at the theater that we did it at, all just were kind of like, all had like an in awe moment of like, yo, like why isn't this dude playing the role? And I'm not trying to be cocky or anything, but like this is kind of like the response that I had observed of being in that position, and having to do that for the first time ever. And I thought, if this is my only chance to play this role with the playwright in the room, with this Oscar-nominated actor who's playing the other lead, who's playing the role that Edward James Olmos played. If this is my only chance to act at a high level like this, then I'm gonna go all out.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
And I like to think that I did my thing, man, and I like to call it like 1,000 hours of acting for one moment. That's kind of what that kind of was for me, because up until then I had been doing this, doing that, taking this class, doing this play, meeting this company, going to whatever social event, whatever thing I could be involved in to meet people and to get my name out there. And yeah, I finished the day. Everybody was really supportive. We took a picture. Everybody was like, it was really, really dope day. And then at the end of the night, I go to an event with my manager. And I get a phone call from one of my castmates who played the opposite lead, who played one of the girl roles, who played Della. Her name's Janine Mason. She calls me. She's like, "Hey, Luis, the playwright. He's like, he's gonna call you. Has he called you yet?" I said, "No, he hasn't called me." She's like, "Well, he's gonna call you. Okay, I'm just letting you know. Like, he's gonna reach out to you.
So don't freak out.
Yeah, like just giving me a heads up.
Answer your phone and don't freak out.
Yeah. So she told me, gave me the heads up, hey, he's going to reach out to you. I don't know when, but just be prepared. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm there at an event with my manager.
Now you're just holding your phone.
Yeah, now I'm just like,
staring at it.
That's what I would be
Got a finger up, like, hold.
How you doing?
Got a call coming in.
Give me a charger.
Promoting the play too. Hey, come see my show. Hold on. So I'm there at this event with my manager at like this mixer in downtown LA. And it's like the whole nine, man. It's like a classic mixer event in downtown LA, within the industry, within the business. A lot of like affluent people. Everyone's dressed up. And I get the phone, and I check my phone again. So like maybe 20 minutes had passed since she called me, or a half hour had passed. I check my phone again, And he had reached out to me. He tried calling me, but I missed his call.
Oh, what?
I missed his first initial calls. So then he leaves me.
You got to leave your ringer on.
He leaves me 2 voicemails, and I instantly checked the second voicemail, which is the last one he left. So I checked the voicemail, and it's Luis Valdez. You know, it's the man himself.
You saved that voicemail too.
I
didn't
still
you?
have it to this day. It's in my email. I have many copies of it, so I never lose it. He leaves me a voicemail, and he's like, "Hey, Matias, just wanted to call you and thank you for the work you did today. You were terrific. You showed up, and you were a game player. And you did your thing. We want to offer you the lead role of Henry Reyna in this production of Zoot Suit. I believe you can do it. You can get it. You can get the production to where it needs to be. And we want to offer you the role. So congratulations, and I'll see you at work tomorrow at 10 a.m. Tomorrow it's dog.
That's so.
What?
I guess the moral of that
that's
story
how that
would be
happened.
never let your understudy have a day.
No, but that was a running joke amongst the cast.
Yeah.
Hey,
He did that
don't
to
let him be your
himself.
understudy.
So
Yeah.
I had when I was when Nick sent us the message who was going to be here, I looked
Yeah.
you up and I'm like, oh, I want to be able to talk to him about things he did, and I looked and there's a clip on your IMDb, right? Did I say that right?
Yes,
right letters.
IMDb, yeah.
Of the Zoot Suit, and that's why I was like so confused when you were telling me that you were telling the story and you were saying that you were an understudy. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that guy, that main
Yeah.
character was him. Like
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
crazy, because when I was looking at it, I was like, oh damn, this dude's a triple threat. Like he's good looking, he can act, he can sing, and he can dance. Like this dude is for real, legit. Like I was really excited. I was like, oh man, this is the real deal. I can't wait to
That's
go.
amazing.
I'm not much of a singer. I don't pretend that I can sing like some people. Not a singer, but it's crazy because like I look back on it and it's like what basically happened was this play came along. I did my thing because I wanted to be a part of it. I got hired with being the understudy. Shit went
That's
down.
amazing.
Something changed. I got my shot. And I took it, and then I ended up being the lead, and then we ended up running that show for 72 performances.
And then it
for
got
3
extended
months.
twice
It got
after
extended
that
twice
too.
after that.
That is
wow,
awesome.
that's absolutely. But you know what? You've earned it. Like you worked.
Yeah.
You did the little side things and hustles, and you've earned that. Like, you earned it.
That could have been anybody, but like the odds are so against you in LA, being an actor in LA. Like there's so many things that are against you, and
Yeah.
also supporting you too. But for that to happen the way it did, being this kid from Toledo, Ohio, from the South End, like
You wouldn't think of it. You wouldn't think.
I never saw. I would never even dream of that or even being a part of that.
Right.
No way, man. But it happened, and
That's
thankfully
awesome.
my luck aligned with the universe or whatever, and had one of those moments. And I really believe that if you're lucky enough and if you really dedicate, an actor can have a few of those moments. I
Great
like to
things
think
can
of
happen.
5, like 5 of those moments in your life that you can count on your hand.
Yeah,
And that was one. That was my first one.
that's awesome.
That's a great story.
This is a good
That's a
time
great
to
story.
have the 40th anniversary star of Zoot Suit sign your bottle.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have a bottle originally signed by 50 Cent.
Hey.
And I thought it was the coolest
Many
thing that I've
men.
ever owned. And, we got a few people that we've had in studio who've had some major accomplishments, but I don't think, but we've never had someone of your magnitude on our show. So we would love for you, if it's okay,
Yeah,
if you would
absolutely.
love to sign our
I'll
50
sign
Cent
it.
bottle.
Just don't sign over 50, though.
I mean,
I mean, if you have to.
No, 'cause he might be watching.
right? That's
that
true.
is
We don't want to
so
hurt his feelings.
cool.
Also, he's a troll, and we don't want him trolling us. Maybe we do, actually. want 50 Cent trolling
That's
us.
so cool, guys. Check it out. Signed in
Very
studio. Oh, I love it. Thanks for taking the time to stop by. I know your mom reached out and like, hey, he's in town for another few days. I'm like, oh, we got to change the show up for today because originally this wasn't for the show. And I'm glad it worked out, man. That's so
me
inspiring.
too.
Your story is so inspiring. It's like, yeah, we live here in Toledo, so we don't think that that's even remotely possible. Like, I would never thought that. I don't think what could happen to us it would be that big, but you're not only dreaming it, but you're living it, which is absolutely amazing.
Trip out on this. Like before I'll be honest, I didn't want to go to Libya at first. I just didn't want to go because I already knew the environment and what I was
Yeah.
going to be surrounded by and what I was going to have to,
Right.
deal with and be a part of, whatever, to some degree. But I tried to apply for TSA, Toledo School for the Arts, because
My
I
kids
knew
go there.
because I knew they was really involved in the arts.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be involved in the arts.
It really helps kids.
Yeah, it's like a great stepping stone to starting those endeavors or those kind of careers. So I applied the first time, got denied.
Oh, what?
And then I applied a second time, and the second time I applied for TSA, it was through a lottery system. Just luck wasn't on my side that time.
Yeah.
Didn't get it, and then I went to Libby, which I would never change because it's definitely the foundation of part of my foundation of who I am today.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
and how I operate in the world, and like being an actor, and just like thinking of all the people that I've come across in my life, that I pull from.
Right.
And you didn't let not getting into the art school stop you.
No.
It didn't
You said,
discourage you.
Okay, these are the cards I've got. I'm going to keep playing the game.
Yeah, and I would
I'm gonna
imagine
keep
that gives
going.
you a lot to draw on too, because there's so
Yeah.
many
Dynamics.
characters at a public school. Like you have all different dynamics. So yeah,
a melting pot.
and like going to Libby, they didn't really have the art supported by TPS in that sense. Like, Libby just wasn't that kind of school. It was a sports school. It was
Right.
about basketball. That
Right.
was their thing.
Right.
So Libby and Scott, the old rivalry, So we had a drama club. We had drama classes, but they weren't really like invested in like that, And going to Libby, it just wasn't something you did either.
Right.
It wasn't cool. Like, I want to be an actor. Like what is it? What? Like that wasn't something you did growing up in the South, going to Libby. It just wasn't something that was common.
Right. Especially that side of town, that school, like it wasn't in the books for somebody to be successful out of that school.
No.
Not to that magnitude, I should say. It's great for sports and things like that. But when you really think of someone who's going to be making it big, you don't think that's where it's going to start. But
Right.
you were given all those opportunities, such as going, getting turned down from TSA and going to a less, a poverty school, that you used all that and
Less
that
funded
built
school.
who you are, and it created something amazing because you never gave up.
No.
You never looked at those things as negative. You turned them into a positive, and you just fed off of that and kept going. And that's just so inspiring to hear something like that. Like, it gives me hope. Like, when we first started the show, like, we only had like a few listeners, maybe just a handful of our family, and it's like,
Brad and Cheryl.
yeah, just Brad and Cheryl, and it's like,
Pete listens.
we could have
He's a
gave up
faithful
because we weren't getting traction. But I believe in the long haul that we have something amazing. And as long as you don't stop, as long as you don't give up, as long as you take these little hurdles, don't give up.
No, I like to view it as it's a marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
somebody, an artist that I really respect that's from LA, which I'm sure you guys know of, the late great Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
Had the whole mentality of the marathon, and running, and running laps, and his whole slogan, the marathon continues, the
For
whole
sure.
TMC, that really resonates with me, because when I first got to LA, I moved to LA, I just turned 20. I'm now 35, so I've been there for 15 years, and I feel like I've spent the majority of my young adulthood in LA. I grew up here. I'm born and raised in Toledo, but when I left, I didn't really know how to really I didn't know what was gonna happen,
Right.
or where I was gonna
Right.
end up.
Yeah.
So it's definitely been a roller coaster of moving from the Midwest to the West Coast, being so far from home, being so far from my family. Because the time I've been there, I've been fortunate to make a lot of really good friends that are Angelinos, that are from LA.
Yeah.
And one thing I always say to them is that I remind them is that you have access to your family.
Right.
Because either they're in Orange County, or they're in San Diego, or they're in Sacramento, or they're like an hour out of LA County. You have access to them. I can't, I don't have that. Not only do I not have that, but I can't even fly direct to Toledo. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That shit's whack.
Nobody can actually.
I gotta leave from LA to Detroit, which is cool. I don't mind because I could do direct, and then the drive is less than what,
Right.
40 minutes.
40
to Detroit
minutes.
Airport.
Yeah.
So,
But that's a whole lot more than like you were saying. People that you met, they're,
Yeah, you got to go on a
I hear
whole
the
journey.
I hear the
Absolutely.
traffic in LA is bad, but still,
yeah.
Oh,
but,
yeah, absolutely
but still,
horrible.
interstate traffic is completely different than having to book a flight, get on the flight, get a car. And, you know, I mean, that's a lot more planning. If, you know, if something's going on, or you just want to hang out with family for the weekend, you've got to plan that shit months in advance to where
I can't just dip out.
Yeah.
So it's like one of the things that I don't want to say the word envy because it's a heavy word, but one of the things that I do observe that I acknowledge is that, you know, it'd be nice if my mother was out there, if she lived like maybe a half hour, an hour out of the city, because LA County is huge. It's
sure.
humongous. That, like, you know, being in this business for so long, there's times where, you know, I do want to check out and like take a break,
right?
You know, because it ain't that serious, and
right.
It's not the end of the world, you know. So it's like, damn, like I can't just go like chill with my mom for the weekend,
right?
Drive to Orange County or the coast,
Makes it tough.
you know. She's living in Brea or whatever, you know, or like Whittier or whatever, you know. I don't have that access, so I have to find other ways to alleviate the stress of being so caught up in the business of acting and living in LA, and all like the social like markers that, you know, that you need to hit, that you need to be at, right? You know, it's like being in the business. LA has a lot of these unspoken rules, you know, about being there, being from there, or living there and working there. Like, for example, you know, when the fire started, when the LA wildfire started on January 7th, it just happened to start on the week that On Call was released, the Amazon Prime show that I worked on, the Dick Wolf show. So the show came out on January 9th on Prime. The fire started on the 7th. Now, I'm here in Ohio, in Toledo, but I live in LA, and I'm pretty much now a resident of California. I vote in California, etc. I live there now. So when the fire started, I was very hesitant to share about my new show, about On Call, because it was like it could be very insensitive.
Right. Yeah. You're worried about your show and people are dying, you know, and homes are being lost?
It could be very insensitive. And I'm not even there, but the fact that I live and work there, it's like this unspoken rule of like, well, yeah, I'm not there. I'm in Ohio with my mom. You know, like, it's for her. It's for my family here. But I remember talking to another buddy of mine who's a fellow actor in LA, to my dude George Pius. And he's from LA, and he was like, you know, bro, just wait another week, man, because, like, I get it. Like, you're not here, but you still work here and live here, and I'm sure there's probably some people that worked on that show that are being directly affected by the fires.
Absolutely.
Right.
So, you know, it's like it's a lot of these, like, unspoken rules that you gotta
live
by.
One of the unspoken ruls too is that you can't fangirl or fanboy over people, right? No. Like, you can't. My cousin lived in LA, Casey, who was here, Yoga Casey. She lived in LA for like 20 years, and she's like, you cannot, like, you got to make it seem like no big deal, right? So you just got to, like, you can nod or whatever, but you cannot freak out when you meet a star, see a star in public. And I'm like, I can never live in LA because I would freak out every time I would not follow that rule.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to like if they're out with their kids or eating dinner, I'm not going to interrupt them.
So if you see them on the street,
we're just walking down the street and I'm passing you, I'm going to be like, I'm going to need a picture. I'm sorry. I can't.
100%. I'd be the same way. Matias, thank you so much for stopping by our show. We really appreciate you.
Thank you. And thank you for sharing your story.
How can people find you on social media?
You can check me out on Instagram at Matias in Motion, Matias in Motion. And, you know, whenever the next project comes out, I'll be sure to share. And my mother is my publicist for the Midwest.
That's so awesome. We love it. We love it. So thanks for stopping by, bud. We appreciate you.
I have lots to watch now.
And we're definitely fans, so.
For sure.
We appreciate you. We love your story. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Matias live in studio.
Go Buckeyes.
If you guys missed the show, you can check us out on Spotify.
Oh,
that was real good, guys. Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio, guys. We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.